Hey, gang, wanted to post regarding the Bitcoin crash yesterday afternoon. Um, Looks like it went down to as low as 26.1 or lower, but then came right back up. And I believe it's stable now around 26.3. Um, why did this happen? Is this foretelling of the future? Uh, I usually turn to for my news. I usually turn to George from CryptosRUs. He is on the money much more often than not. He's been a YouTuber for years. He has a staff which covers the news and sources the news, so I don't have to track it all down. So let's see what he has to say without further ado.
Afternoon. Wow, we haven't seen this since the FTX collapse. We haven't seen something like this in a quite a long time, and that's because volatility has been very low. Very, very low. We've been holding and going sideways for quite some time. But this morning, we did get a little weakness because the US market, of course, dumped. Yesterday it dumped. This morning it was up okay. It was a little green, and then it dumped. Got bigger, Bitcoin a little bit weaker to the 28s, and then all of a sudden we had this huge crash that
Mm-hmm.
brought Bitcoin this downwick all the way to 25.2 before
5-2.
coming up a little bit. We're right around 26.6 right now. So what happened? Well, according to sources, um, I don't know. According to Wall Street Journal, I don't know who their source is. Okay, this came out today. This was an article about SpaceX. Okay, everyone loves SpaceX, right? Loves space exploration. Loves what Elon is doing with SpaceX. It's awesome to look at those launches. But within here, it talks about, I don't know why it was just plugged in. I mean, this whole article had nothing at all to do with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, right? It was everything else about finances, revenue and all that stuff. In the very last paragraph of this article, the it almost seems like this Micah and Corey and Berber purposely snuck this in here, or someone told them to. All of a sudden, they just wrote that somehow 373 million that was acquired by SpaceX, 373 million worth of Bitcoin acquired in 2022 and 2021 has been written down, which means that it has been sold off this year. Now, since SpaceX is not a publicly traded company, they don't have to disclose this. Now, Elon did say before that SpaceX owns some Bitcoin. They really hold close to 400 million Bitcoin, maybe. But why would they disclose that, right? There's no proof of this. And again, this whole article was fine all the way up until the very last point. Like, this was just snuck in there because these writers or whoever told them to put that there knew what this was going to do, right? Cause a whole lot of FUD. The thing is, a lot of you guys know, people are trying to verify this. No one has been able to. SpaceX has not actually come out and said, yes, this report is true. Elon has not come out and said this report is true. So no one really knows if this is true or not. But regardless, this looks like what caused the big panic sell off this afternoon.
No, he's
So that's really
speculating,
it.
so
Now,
just keep that
if
in
you
mind.
think about it,
We don't really know.
this can't be it, right? Even though maybe many got scared, but how could this really bring down the market this much? Well, with leverage, certainly could happen, right? I did mention this is the largest drop since FTX days. This is the FTX day overlay. Well, here's a better look. Okay, so you take a look. FTX collapsed. That was all the way, a year ago, over a year ago, right in 2022. We haven't really seen a big collapse like this since then. And according to this, liquidations, almost 700 million longs liquidated. That's a lot. But here's the thing. Even the shorters got wrecked. Shorts, 144 million worth of shorts wrecked too. So, see, that's the thing. When people get greedy, they throw a 100x leverage. They don't realize the volatility can really wipe people out really that much.
Leverage
So
is a very
it's not
risky
even a total
thing
win
that
for the
people
Bears
do where
today
they borrow
because
money
145 million
to
was also wiped out.
increase
And
the
then
amount of money they could
100
potentially make from their
was it
position.
no 650 million
Of course,
worth
it also
of
magnifies their
longs
losses
also
if
liquidated,
they blow
right?
it.
So
And this is exactly what
I
happened
mean,
to these people.
obviously with FUD, with panic selling, with a lot of liquidations, you're going to get a massive sell-off, right? So that's exactly what we saw today. So, what should we do about it, right? Should you panic sell? Is 10,000 coming? You know, some people that have been saying, well, we're going to go down to 10,000 or 12,000. Does that mean we're going to go straight back down to 15,000 and make a new high of 12,000? No, I certainly don't think so. Obviously, the market has been stagnant. The market got a little weak, but something like this kind of triggered something, right? Some of these institutions, maybe they got a little fearful. Maybe some whales decided to play some games, take advantage of this FUD news, right? And then causes a whole lot of liquidations. But regardless, does that mean it's over? No. In fact, according to a lot of technical analysts, they believe this is a great thing because we needed to hit a certain level or hit certain signals before we can go back up. And if you look at how oversold Bitcoin is now on the 4-hour chart, and you can look at a day chart too and an hour chart, Bitcoin is in the extreme oversold level, just like some of these previous times before Bitcoin started rallying up. So there are actually a lot of analysts that think,
you can
hey,
see
this is a
from the
great
charting
time
the
to be
general
buying.
trend is up.
And I agree.
There's
I'm not just
definitely
looking
been
at it
some
from a technical standpoint. I
downward
keep telling you
movement,
guys, I look
but the
at the
general trend
fundamentals.
for
The
Bitcoin is
fundamentals
up.
of Bitcoin has never, ever, ever been better. The hash rate, the addresses, the number of holders, right, keeps on going up. Just look at the hash rate right now. The miners are not going anywhere. They're the ones that's powering the network that continues to mine more and more Bitcoin. And we know Bitcoin is scarce. They know this. It's a race to the last Bitcoin. That's why they keep upping their hash rate. And like I said, the holders, the addresses,
And what
the
he's
reserve
referring to now is
exchange,
there's a
they're
finite
all
amount
at all-time
of
high.
Bitcoin, and once it's gone,
Exchange reserve,
it's gone.
I mean all-time low, close to it. But yeah, the fundamentals of Bitcoin has never been better. So does this something like this scare me? No. In fact, I tweeted out, this was a gift. Whenever we see big dips, a lot of you guys always say, well, I wish it could stay lower, or I wish it could drop to this level before I buy, right? Hopefully,
And this is the time to
you're
buy, actually, is when it's
staying
low.
true to that because we're here, right? We haven't seen this level for
Now, again,
long,
I'm not giving
long
financial
time.
advice,
We
but
haven't
this is what I
seen,
would do if I had
um,
the means to
yeah,
purchase
we
more.
haven't seen this
Would I
since
purchase
what?
more? I would.
June? Couple months ago? I guess it's not that long, but it was 2 months ago, right? So when we're down here, I bet a lot of people were also very fearful because we came back down, right? A lot of people are probably saying the same thing. Oh, you know, we're going to go back down until boom, right? Then they missed out. So now you have your opportunity. We basically went back in time by 2 months. You get an opportunity to pick up some cheap Bitcoin and some cheap crypto, right? That's the best way to think about it. You buy low and you sell high, right? Buy low and sell high. That's the winning strategy. Now, there are, of course, other factors at play that I keep talking about, like Bitcoin spot ETF. Well, this is pretty promising. Grayscale is looking to expand their team, specifically, okay, in regards to ETFs. They're looking for someone with a lot of ETF experience. So either
So
they know
Grayscale currently
approval is coming,
owns
or they're just kind of
the
trying to
most
prepare
Bitcoin out of
for
anyone. They
one
own
way or another. They know
Nobody
that
owns
this
more
is
Bitcoin than
going to
them.
come. They're going to need someone that's going to manage their ETF. And we all know that the 8 pending pending applicants,
Okay.
one of them will
So
get
that was
approved,
yesterday
right?
afternoon. He jumped
Maybe
on
not
because of
today,
the crash.
tomorrow,
I'm gonna
but I think before the
go
next
to
halving
another
event,
video
definitely.
that he
But this is
posted this
very
morning
positive
with a bit more
as well.
information. So
Okay.
let's stop this.
So, like I said,
and go to the next video. Let's see here.
started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The market
So he
bell.
does this every morning.
There you go.
About
That's just
9:30.
wrong. And right now in the
I've
U.S.,
watched
not looking
almost
so
every one of his
peachy.
videos, and
Everything,
it's been
Dow,
very
S&P,
informative. If you
Nasdaq,
can,
all in the
watch him
red.
from the beginning.
Yesterday
and see how he
turned
makes
very
his
bloody.
decisions.
The day
He's
before
very
turned even bloodier. That makes
level-headed.
sense. That actually didn't make sense, but anyway, you get my point. It's been red for
listening
quite
to
some time.
Me has helped my investing.
Bitcoin also, of course, last night I talked about one theory why Bitcoin dumped, and it's due to this. Wall Street Journal did a interesting article about SpaceX and their finances, and then all of a sudden plugged in at the very last paragraph about they sold off $400 million worth of Bitcoin, right? This sent shockwaves. People did not like that. A lot of FUD came out of this, right? Whether or not this is the true reason for the sell-off, we don't know. But definitely the timing of it correlated with that steep drop all of a sudden, right? So this was one of the working theories why, because a lot of other institutions or insiders did not like it, right? But the thing is, this is still unconfirmed. I was searching through Elon's replies this morning, not one mention or rebuttal to this article. So it could be true, or maybe it's not true, but he has not answered yet. So I'm still waiting for him or someone else to confirm whether or not SpaceX did sell off all of their Bitcoin. And if so, when? Because it doesn't really say when.
For the record,
it might not
Elon
even
is
happen
famous
recently.
for
Maybe it
his
was like
tweets,
early
which
in
can affect the
January
market.
when we were still at $15,000, right? So we don't know. But anyways, so that's reason number one. But there's also other reasons I believe at play that may be much scarier. Okay, so one of the things that's happening, and a lot of you guys have paid attention, is China is doing really bad right now. China, ever since a year ago, or maybe even more than that, has been really struggling. So recently, their central bank had to cut their interest rate. They also just did a stimulus injection, right? Their stock market is also tanking, and their largest property. Let me scroll up. Their largest property developer, Evergrande, is filing for bankruptcy. They've been having problems since 2021.
So yeah,
it's been a couple of years. Okay, now
run
the
this
thing
much
is,
further, but
they had
you guys
problems
get the
before.
idea.
Like last year, I
So,
remember they
very
couldn't pay their
informative.
debts, and it seemed like they
If
would
you
go
are,
belly up. But then,
a Bitcoin
someone
investor
swooped in, China
or
swooped
you
in,
have
and
other
kind of
digital
saved them,
assets,
right?
I highly
So this time
recommend them.
around, I'm thinking something like that will still happen because China's in a bad shape right now.
He's
I
on
doubt they want to just let Evergrande
mornings
go
at
belly up
around 9:30.
and
I
cause
think
billions
evenings, I
upon
can't remember
billions
what
of
time he
losses.
comes on. It might be
But right
8,
now,
might be 9.
Evergrande
I don't
filed
think he's
for
on
U.S.
Friday,
bankruptcy protection.
but
It's funny,
It's worth checking out.
why would they file for bankruptcy
And I hope that
protection in
helps,
the
guys.
U.S.?
I hope
It's
that
because they
clears
don't
up
want
some
to pay
mystery.
their creditors
care.
that are in the U.S. That's why.